Are you ready to transform your normal e-commerce business into one that experiences exponential growth year after year using online advertising? If so, this show is for you. Me and my guests will show you how you too can grow your e-commerce business to 7 or even 8 figures so you can go on more luxurious vacations, spoil yourself and your family, say yes to more opportunities, and become financially free so you never have to worry about money again. Welcome to the e-commerce performance marketing show. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Ecom Performance Marketing Show. Now I have a very, very special episode for you lined up today. And as you can see, I have a guest. I have Brenda Mendez.
Hey, guys.
So Brenda was on a previous episode that got a lot of popularity, a lot of positive feedback. She shared some incredible tips on how she was able to scale Snow teeth whitening to a 9-figure valuation and all the hard work that she put into that and all the responsibilities that she had when she was at the company. And now she's like a rock star consultant that's hired by some top companies out there right now. And she's on this episode today because we're going to break down a few stores and their ads and also their website. And also we're going to talk about how they can really respond right now to what's happening with current events with the pandemic. This way they can keep growing their business and they can respond accordingly instead of reacting and then making a bad decision along the way. So we've got some great content planned for you today. Thank you so much for being a part of this episode. And we're ready to dive in. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, guys, so we're going to start this off by really diving into a brand called Allbirds, allbirds.com. So if you haven't heard of Allbirds, let me just show you the website here. So they sell primarily shoes. They're well known for creating some all-natural built shoes that really appeal to millennials.
Super comfortable and all about the sustainability of using the right materials as well. So they focus a lot on having the right materials for Earth and still being super comfortable. Yeah,
for sure. So we're going to dive into their brand and what they're doing on the advertising side, and also going through their website too. And we're going to talk about some things that we noticed about their website we liked, that we felt like that they can really improve on, so this way they can get better results.
And then the consistency across different channels, whether it's advertising channels or their website, to making sure that's consistent on brand and having the right messaging too on the same channels.
Definitely. So let's dive in. All right, so we've got Facebook ads here. Now, just so you guys know, if you don't know this already, you can actually go into the Facebook ad library and see current ads that are running from different brands. And so you can see like who your competitors are and what they're doing. So this way you can learn what's working right now with your competitors that are very successful. So what you can do is you can dive in using the Facebook ad library and you can find out what ads a brand is running. So this way you can learn from it. So we went ahead and we pulled up the ads that Allbirds are running right now. As you can see, launched March 2020. This way we can really go through them and we can basically point out some of the things that we noticed that were really well done, or we offered some critiques here. So what did you think about these ads when we dove in here?
Well, I first dove into the website, and so I critiqued that first. And so now going into the ads library, secondly, I saw that their messaging wasn't as consistent with the current events, and I really love how they're doing almost the one-for-one model. So every pair you buy, they are going to donate one to the healthcare professionals, and that's huge for them. So I saw a lot of ads doing that.
Yeah, you said it was an inconsistency though, right?
Yes.
Can you talk more about that?
Yes, the inconsistency was that I did not see this message or this great thing that they're doing for the healthcare professionals right now, and I didn't see it on their website. So I felt like that should have been more on the spotlight. And even going back to what they're doing on these ads, they should also do more of a personal thing where this seems like, I don't know how many you've donated, which the number doesn't matter, but for me, I really wanted to see like the healthcare professionals wearing the shoes and really diving in and zooming into that footage of them. Because think about it, they're helping for 12, 16 hours straight. So I really want to see, again, the comfortability of people wearing them all day long and giving them to healthcare professionals.
Yeah, actually that would have been good to have in the video ads or even pictures.
I saw it. I'm a visual person. I saw it straight out how it should have looked instead of very this is not personal at all, these ads. And I know they're doing something so well that should be portrayed a lot better.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, they could have had like a video of like one of their boxes of shoes being like delivered to a healthcare professional maybe, or
I would have
a video in the hospital of them wearing those shoes too.
So a video of us at home with the brand new shoes, so they can go and walk miles during that day or hours on those comfortable shoes. So think about that messaging. We're staying home because that messaging is going around so much. So us staying at home, buying the pairs, so the pairs can actually be used during this time.
Yeah. Although I have to say that even though maybe it wasn't perfect, I feel like they did a really good job of just representing something bigger than themselves, in their messaging, in their videos, in their images, talking about how they're, donating $500,000 basically worth of shoes to healthcare workers. And also, like you said, if you buy a pair of shoes, they'll donate a pair of shoes, which, that just makes a buyer feel like if I buy from Allbirds, I'm impacting someone. I'm not just buying a product, I'm actually like contributing.
Yeah, even though you're staying inside and you almost feel helpless, you're still helping somebody else walk comfortably in those shoes.
Yeah, totally. And just it builds a relationship, and really builds trust as well. And it allows someone to look at a brand and like view a brand very differently versus just a brand that's just selling stuff without any purpose behind it.
Yeah.
Which, that's just great for building trust and just, having goodwill in the market and being remembered too versus some of the other brands out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else did you notice from the ads?
Let's see. Oh, I wanted to see more user-generated content from the ads. And more of an actionable, because these are shoes, and even though yes we're staying at home, but as a brand I wanted to see people in different scenarios wearing these shoes and how comfortable they are, whether it's a nurse wearing it for 12 hours or it's just me going out and walking around. I really wanted to see that because I wanted to feel that through that messaging. It's how comfortable are they instead of just a picture with the background. So more action, more UGC content from organically.
How can they solve that though? Like if you were running their business and you notice that, what would you tell them to do?
Get outside and wear some shoes and take some footage of that. So I would say also there's a lot of content that you can get through people. Influencer marketing is not dead, but it's a different way to get that content, and it's more for the content. So I would love to get a lot of influencer content through either donating shoes and having them. There's so many people now that are really good at video editing. Even just TikTok made it possible to add all these different scenes to one video. People are getting so creative, so I can see people wanting to do pretty cool stuff with these shoes. Even a skateboarder that has great engagement on TikTok, they could do a very close-up of wearing the shoes while skateboarding. So that type of content. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I would even say adding to that, when they have a customer like welcome series and they send out the product itself, maybe have like a scan code into Facebook Messenger and an automation there built out where they can ask the customer to send a video testimonial, but for an incentive where maybe they get like a free $10 gift card.
Well, going based off that, now they have different accessories like socks that I did see on their website. So I would say free socks with sending us a video of you or using.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea for sure.
So it's still using their product, still adding value, still adding that brand with your accessories that are lower cost.
Yep.
And so I would offer that.
Yeah, that bonds people more to the brand than just giving them an Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're giving them more of your product.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I stand corrected. So, so as far as so what I also like too, and just scrolling down further, like these are some other ads that I saw. Did you see these ads too?
I did.
Okay. So I really liked how these ads are matching the target market, because we know just from looking at their messaging, just from doing audience research, also going through their ads, that they're definitely after the millennial. Yes. I mean, you can see, this is probably somewhere around 25 to 30, right? The male and the female here.
Yeah.
And also I like how the carousel shows a picture of the person, in an outfit, top to bottom, but also shows a close-up of the shoe.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a carousel ad doing it that way. I've always seen carousel ads showing like lots of different products instead of just showing like the same product, but in two different perspectives, basically, which was nice.
Yeah, I do like that.
So, but I think it's important though, like one of the takeaways here is that whoever your target market is, you want your images to really like match who you're targeting.
Yes.
This way your audience resonates with the ad creatives that you're using to attract them to the ad and attract them to the offer in your brand.
And also another brand consistency is that the models, it's the same demographic, but it's also, you don't see anything branded on them because again, their model is also sustainable, great, good for you products from the earth. So you don't see any Gucci on them or anything. So it's very simple, consistent. The only brand is their shoes, and it's also the millennial of how they live their lifestyle as well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, for sure. And then, I mean, besides that, I mean, I did like how when you click on these ads, it takes you to the product page that's aligned with the product being advertised. What I mean by that is, like, let's just say that I'm looking at this ad's targeting me, right? And if I click on it, it takes you exactly to that product page.
Are you surprised that some companies don't do that yet?
And they should. I mean, a lot of companies just drive people to the homepage, and then people get overwhelmed by choices. They get overwhelmed by the menu. Maybe the homepage has way too much stuff on it, so it loads slow. I mean, there's so many different things that detract people from on a homepage if a homepage isn't done well. And either way, too, if someone's seeing an exact product like I'm seeing with this pair of shoes targeting men, I want to go straight to the product page.
Yes, it's also a call to action. Shop now. Like, I'm ready. Shop now. I'm going to click on it. I'm expected to land on the product page.
Yep, for sure. Okay. Well, before we dive into the website, though, let's talk about. Is there anything else that you saw with the Facebook ads, Instagram ads that we saw here?
Nope. I think that was the main one for the ads.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, also, we're going to talk about what we saw on search ads. So SEMrush, if you don't know SEMrush, it's a great tool for doing competitive research or audience research or even domain research. I mean, there's so many different value angles to SEMrush. Like if you're trying to get your content dialed in, if you're trying to do a better job with SEO, if you're trying to see what ads to run, based off of what competitors are doing, those are just some of the value propositions from using SEMrush. And so what you're seeing here is you're seeing how I searched for allbirds.com, and I basically pulled up some advertising research on the search ads that allbirds.com is running. And so I can see just from this report what keywords that they're targeting, what phrases they're targeting, and I can go even further. I can see their ad copies, I can see their ad history, I can really deep dive into different data points here to really learn what Allbirds is doing. So this is great for any brand out there that wants to find out more about a specific competitor that they know is very successful, and they want to emulate what that competitor is doing and innovate based off of where they start with what they learn from their competitors. Did I explain that right?
Perfect.
Okay.
I understood that.
Okay. Thanks. All right. So we're looking here at a list of like keywords and phrases, and this is what I noticed here. So the first thing is so with search ads, and even Google display ads, and you name it, low-hanging fruit, one of the low-hanging fruit ad opportunities that most businesses have is targeting on-brand searches. And this protects your brand, because if you don't advertise, like let's just say that you're the owner of Allbirds, if you're not advertising when people search for Allbirds or any variation of Allbirds, then that means your competitors are going to target those same keywords and phrases based off your brand. So they're going to steal basically the traffic that you could be getting to your brand. And so you definitely want to protect your brand. That's one of the first things to do with search ads. It's low-hanging fruit, it's high ROI ads, it's a no-brainer. So I did like how I noticed in this report that Allbirds is running search ads protecting their brand. So if someone searches for Allbirds or any variation of Allbirds, they're advertising to it and they're capturing that traffic instead of their competitors doing that instead of them. So that was like a big plus that I noticed.
That's great.
Yeah, besides that, I also noticed that they're targeting, for example, keywords and characteristics that define what their shoes are about. Most comfortable sneakers, for example, or airbirds, wool runners, bird shoes, a lot of wool sneakers, that's a good one. They're really targeting what their shoes are about in search terms. So this way, when people are searching for wool sneakers, Allbirds comes up. And that's huge because, whatever defines your product, you want to target keywords and phrases related to what defines your product. And in Allbirds' case, that's what they're doing. So this way they can get very targeted traffic of people that are interested in finding out more about wool sneakers in this case, and also possibly purchasing wool sneakers as well. And then besides that, I'm going to give you some feedback on some of the ad copy here. So again, this tool allows you to see what search ads that Allbirds is running, and what you can do if you were, let's just say you're a competitor to Allbirds, is you can take a look at these ads here and you can see like how they're structuring their ads and what template in a way is in place. And this way you can essentially kind of copy it, but obviously make the messaging unique to your brand, but follow the same structure. That's how we would use these specific ad copies, because when we start with companies at the agency, we do competitive research. We find out what competitors are doing in regards to ads, and we start creating ads that emulate what competitors are doing, but with original copy and messaging, but following some of the framework and the structure in the headline and also in the ad copy itself. So that's the takeaway here. What I really liked about what I see here with the ad copy is it's very succinct in regards to, like this one I really liked when I saw it earlier today. Made with premium natural materials, free shipping and returns, superfine New Zealand, that's what that stands for, merino wool, free returns, lightweight and breathable, machine washable, low carbon footprint, and styles, men's wool runners, women's wool runners, men's wool loungers. So this is awesome because it's really just saying a number of characteristics about Allbirds right away that appeals to who they want to attract. They want to attract someone that wants shoes made of natural materials. That's their market. They're also letting people know that there's free shipping and returns to make the shopping experience hassle-free. They're also explaining the fact that they're using superfine New Zealand merino wool, which is high perceived value, which is great because that just shows that they're selling a premium product. You always want to capture, you always want to use messaging throughout your entire marketing that really shows high perceived value. Free returns, that reduces the risk of becoming a customer, because what if you don't like it? You can just return it. That's fine. It's great. Lightweight and breathable. Again, appeals to the market. Someone wants a light shoe. They want a breathable shoe. Machine washable. Same thing. Low carbon footprint. Same thing. These people care about not affecting the world and using shoes that are made from all natural resources, right?
Yeah.
And so that adds to that. So that's what I really loved about some of the ads here that I saw. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I think the messaging is consistent across all of these, especially, again, the world's most comfortable shoes. And so the ad copy would be, why is it the world's most comfortable shoes? Is the material they use. So they have that very consistent throughout all the ads.
Yeah, and actually, I should have pointed that out too. That's a really good headline in the ad. World's most comfortable shoes. That's really making a statement.
So you stop looking anywhere else for competitors, and you stop there, and that's all you need.
Yep, definitely. So you want to create those types of statements, in your advertising and also in your marketing to really stand for something and to separate yourself from your competition out there. And they do a great job of doing that in their ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about their website. You want to kick things off?
Yeah, so I went into this audit just being in the customer's mindset, super clear. Let's see my type of experience navigating this website. And so right at the beginning, I know that it's for men and women, and it's also the background. It's very earth friendly, so I know they're again telling me that visually that they're very earth friendly materials. The only thing I noticed that when you shop women and men, it's on the opposite side. So I would change. It's such a small detail.
No, that's true though.
But these things don't pass me by. So I would switch that just because, aligning your visual journey. It's shop men, show women, and then I would go and click into it. So that's the first thing I noticed.
Okay. Let me also point out too that this is like a no-no. It's a small thing, but it means something.
Small things go a long way.
I know.
So let's just name them.
Like this right here, you got white text on a white shoe.
Yeah, I did see that too.
Yeah, like that. If anything, they should maybe have or they need to move this up maybe.
Yeah.
Or change the color of the text on this headline, because it just makes it hard to read.
Yeah.
White on white.
It is
Definitely not to do.
Want to read it? I just saw the picture. So
Yeah.
Good catch.
Yeah. But this is a good tagline though. Light on your feet, easy on the planet. That's what they stand for really. And two simple sentences. I mean, that makes sense. Okay. So what else did you notice about the website?
So as soon as I scroll down, better things in a better ways, learn more about our materials. I don't want to leave the home page and I don't want to learn about materials. Already I'm thinking, am I going to read super long scientific findings on these materials? The best way to do it for me as a consumer, I would have little icons on each material, and when you hover over it, because again the branding is very simple and less text and more visual, so I would have icons on the actual material, and as soon as you hover over them, you have the option to read more about that material instead of, okay, let me leave this page and I don't know if I'm going to find a 50-page report on each material. So that I didn't like that part. And going down, I mean, the first visual, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that looks like something else. What is that?
What,
wool?
this?
Yes.
Okay.
Either way, it's a lot of visual. I think it's overwhelming for me. And again, it's talking about the materials. I think they did that statement already with the learn more about the materials. I get it. That's why I'm on the website. I love the materials. I trust you guys. So instead, I would want to see, if they want to go with the visual appeal, I would want to see each tile of the style in a different environment. So I think they almost got that, but again, they have different other pictures of the material. I think that's overdone. I would like to see the type of shoe in a different type of environment as well, to know that they're comfortable and I could wear them anywhere I want.
Nice. Yeah, I would have preferred I feel like that this is just too much in a small area, and so you can't really focus on one specific thing very easily. It would be, I think that if anything, they should just break it up, into like one section that talks about wool and the other section talks about tree, instead of having it in one.
Yeah. Just don't know where to go.
Yeah, but you brought up a very strong conversion point that when someone comes to this homepage, they're basically directing people off page.
Yep.
Right? And that's like a conversion no-no basically, because anytime you have something like that directs them to another page, you're going to lose them. Mm-hmm. This page as a homepage should be designed to funnel people to the next ideal step.
Especially so soon of going down from the website. It's very soon to get me out of the website right away.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, what else did you notice?
Let's see. So this is the first time I noticed that they do have the socks as extra. It's not well portrayed as an upsell, so I'm hoping that they do a better job on their product page. But we're almost to the bottom of the page and they still don't bring up the fact that one pair goes to a healthcare professional. So this is the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway from this brand is that, especially during these times, it should be a big banner, it should be the homepage. It's something so relevant and from the heart, and they're doing a great job, and I don't think they're portraying it as much or putting it in the spotlight. So anywhere on this homepage, it was not It
Yeah.
was not part of it.
Yeah, that's an important
Especially if
point.
they're paying a lot of money on those ads, because most of the ads that we saw were about that.
Yeah.
And they don't have it here.
That's a very important point, because if you're going to advertise how you're donating shoes, and how if you buy a pair of shoes, we'll donate one pair to a healthcare worker, that should definitely be because your messaging, your ads need to be 100% aligned with the website and the destination that you're taking people to. I mean, they do have this on the top, but it's just, I mean, I didn't even notice it. Like when we stopped here earlier, I didn't even notice it.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I mean, it should be much more front and center as a part of
Or have the cross logo right next to it, or red, or something more.
Something that just basically captures your eye, that causes you to stop and look at that, so this way you see it. But I think it should be more, like you said earlier, it should be more actually in the page itself, as someone comes to this part here should really correlate with that, because right now it's so relevant.
Yes.
So relevant. They should have it right here above the fold.
The shoes itself, their product is actually very relevant to what's going on right now. If it was lipstick, let's say, or something so different and not relevant, but they're still giving, I'm sure they would have something on their homepage. But since this product really does help a lot of those professionals in the healthcare, especially right now, it's not portrayed. So it wouldn't be off-brand so much, say so, especially during a temporary time. You can take that risk and put it on your homepage. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and then also to add to what you were talking about, you notice that obviously they're advertising their socks that they carry. But I think that's a distraction as well. I think that their homepage should really focus on their core offer. Their core offer is shoes. Socks should come after the shoes.
It should be as an upsell after the fact, add it to your cart, just because it's so extra as an accessory.
Yeah. I would just keep this page 100% focused on either going to shop men or going to shop women. No other options besides on the top menu and in the footer.
Yeah.
And that's it. So that's I think that's the summary of our feedback, right, for Allbirds?
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. Okay, well let's jump over to another brand we want to critique and share with you what we found when we were critiquing that specific brand. So this way you can learn from us in regards to the feedback we have with Wink, right?
Wink is the next one, especially during this time. You need more wine.
Yeah, definitely. I could use some right now.
Yeah, me too. So that'll be the next brand.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning into the e-commerce performance marketing show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite part and share it with a friend. Until our next episode, here's to you and the success of your e-commerce business.